Abundance. So then, abundance is what I'm going to speak about tonight. Abundance. What is abundance? What can affect it? Tips to turning it around, to work in your favour. Tools and crystals to aid abundance. So, what is abundance? What do any of you think abundance is? Let's see some of your comments. What's abundance? For any of you supporters, what would you say abundance is? Obviously, you've got the benefit. You can speak to me. It's much nicer on Zoom. But what would any of you say abundance is? You're not talking to me now. We're on a live page. Kind of Becky. So, what do you think abundance is? So you won't come on screen with your video, but your voice will. Steve says, is it light? Anna, what do you think abundance is?
Richness. Not richness as in money, but enriching.
Like fulfillment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take that. Anyone else got any other idea what they think abundance might be?
Is it like
manifestation?
Definitely.
If you was to like give someone a homeless a meal deal, and then you might not receive a meal deal back, but you'll get something in reward, not necessarily now, but further down the line.
That's how it'd work. Yeah, that's how it would work. Yes. So yes, that like a flow. Yeah. Julie's online saying happiness, fulfillment. Yeah, I could take that. Courtney says abundance is what the universe provides you with. Happiness, love, money. Yes, but I wouldn't say it's just provided for. I just said it's not something that just happens and everyone gets a different amount. I think it's something that we're all in control of to a certain extent. Okay. Be a large quantity of something. So let's have a look. So abundance, I'd say it's not money. I'd say it's joy. It's happiness. It's plentifulness. It's love. It's opportunities. It's flowing. So by joy, okay, bring enrichment to your life, like some of you had said. With joy all around you. Happiness, fulfillment, plentifulness. Having your needs met. I wouldn't have said abundance is having all of your wants necessarily met, but it's depending on what way you're looking at it. Okay, but I will go into talking about envisaging it shortly. But it's taking opportunities. Doesn't mean you've got to take the opportunities, but it's opportunities coming your way. So a lot of people will have abundance around them, but sometimes they won't spot it because perhaps they're not taking the opportunities in order to get it towards them. I said, yes, it's very much enrichment around the heart. I would have said abundance is around the heart. So if someone asked me in readings, if someone asked me what abundance is, I say, look, it's not money. It's not talking about money. It's not talking about wealth as in a financial factor. It's talking about wealth and abundance as in joy, as in happiness, and having your life enriched in that way. Yes, nowadays the world is run with money. So often money is a part of manifestation, or at least value, is the way I would see it. But spirit don't like the term money. The universe doesn't like the term money. It's enrichment. But obviously we can value abundance sometimes in a monetary factor. But if you're wishing for abundance, I definitely wouldn't wish for money. Having what you need to come along, money-wise, then I'd focus it as that need rather than as a financial. But it's allowing that joy and the happiness in. So I will be going into blockages, but what is abundance? It's joy, it's happiness, it's love, it's plentifulness, it's all around. It's opportunities, like I said, whether or not you take it, and it's going with the flow of life. Not fighting against the current. If you fight against the current, you're going to miss the opportunities. You may not see the opportunities, and it's going to be a struggle, and the energy's in the wrong direction. Okay? So, moving on, what abundance is not. Okay? As I've already said, abundance is not money. It's not material items. And it definitely isn't to do with begging. Putting an intention out there, yeah, well and good. But if you're begging and really, come on, universe, oh, I need it. It's not likely to come. That's likely to stop the flow. Because if you're begging it, you're not presuming it's going to come to you in the first instance. And definitely, abundance is not luck. It's not luck at all. A lot of people, I'm sorry for sort of saying it, I'm not saying it, not there, but I hear it quite often. No, they're just lucky, and I just get bad luck. But when you say, well, what's your bad luck? Well, it could often be parents died, or I lost my job, I've lost my relationship. But it's like, hang on a sec, if you think about it with a different mindset, look at it from a different way, that can kind of happen to anyone. There's a lot of people that are abundant that's happened to. So abundance is definitely not luck. And I'd say you can change, you're in a position where you can change abundance. Everyone's in a position where they can change abundance. It's how you look at it. So it's a shift, which is what I'm trying to get to with this, to try and say, if anyone's having a bit of, not going too well with abundance, okay, I'll try and give some tips for you to be able to shift, looking at it in a different way, maybe shift some belief and a few pointers to try and change that luck, if you want to call it luck, around. So it's not luck, it's all about the energy. It's about what we do. And also some tips about how not to end abundance, because it's very easy to end abundance as well, unintentionally. But we will get into that. So is there anything anyone else can think of what abundance is not? So, what can affect it? How many of you have had a blockage or feel like there's a blockage around now? I'm curious. So what can affect abundance?
Negative energy.
Of you,
just in general in life.
Else? Everything in life.
Yeah, like as in seeing the negative in everything instead of the positive.
Yeah, negative in life, I would say no, but yes, it'll be down to how you see it yourself as being in life. I'm glad to hear that, Courtney, that you need to hear it. But yeah, negativity, then I'd say, yeah, that could affect it. Denise, he'll say not being open. Yeah, I'd say that as well.
Your mindset.
Wearing a wrong mindset, definitely. Wearing a wrong self-mask. But what else can affect it? The past. Often people will focus what went wrong in the past. They keep thinking about what went wrong in the past. And abundance definitely is linked with the law of attraction. It's the energy you put out.
Past, sorry, Gavin. Our past should make us stronger. If we say that our past is making us stronger, then surely that must help.
I'd somewhat agree. See, with the past, a lot of people will focus on, well, if we'll talk about relationship here for a minute, love. People will focus maybe too much on the past. They'll have put a door up, a shield up, but they'll put the shield in front of them. So therefore, they're still living in the past. They're thinking of that past relationship where it went wrong. The problem is then you're going to manifest that same around you, or you're going to stay with no one coming close to you because you've got that worry of someone coming close because you're still thinking of that relationship from the past. So instead of having that door and that protection, the shield in front of you, really you want that nowhere near. You don't want a big blockage. If you want that blockage, if you're going to put a big stop sign like that's on the image here in front of you, it's in the wrong place. Turn it around and put it behind you. So that's where I disagree slightly with it. Yes, it can make you stronger, but you need to close the door on the past and not focus on that, because if you're focusing on the past and what went wrong, so yes, I agree then, Anna, that yes, you can use it to make yourself stronger.
Yeah, but every negative has a positive. It's like, say, I've had a bad past relationship, but my God, I've got a beautiful daughter from it. I've got beautiful grandchildren. Why do I need to be negative about what happened in the past?
And it can sometimes take many years to close a door to the past when you realise that. And that's then seeing things in a different way. So yes, so that's what I said, that it can make you stronger. So I'd agree with that. But it's moving initially, the energy, so what can affect it is the past. You need to shift the energy, shift the thought process, try and be open. And like, I can't remember who it was that was on here that just said, let me look back up there. Make peace with the past, leave it there. I'd agree with that, Denise. Doubting things, not being open. Where was it? Who was it that said it? But so I can't remember who said that. But yeah, with the past, it can hold you back. Like Anita's saying, there we go. If you can, to do that can be quite difficult, shifting the energy. I always say one of the simplest things, but no one ever actually does it. So I'd say if you could do this for 21 days, Anita, and I think it'd make a big difference to you. You get a bit of paper, and those fears of the past, the things that went wrong that you don't want to focus on. But, oh, I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen again. I don't want that to happen. It always happens to me. So those have got to go on the negative side of the bit of paper that you don't want to look at. And all the dreams, what you actually want from it. You want that loving companion. You want the love. You want the blessings. You want the gorgeous parts of it. And then you only look at that positive side every morning, every night, and whenever you get a doubt. So you're really envisaging, not in great detail, if I want him to look like this with dark hair and, oh, he's going to have a sun type. It's the emotions, the energies that you want from whatever it is that you're trying to manifest if we're talking about love. But yeah, the past can hold you back, and you can keep thinking. So thinking can hold you back. Keep thinking, well, it always happens to me. It will, because you're still focusing on that. You're focusing on it always happens to me. So with the law of attraction, that'll keep it always happening to you, because the thought is it always happens to me, and like attracts like. Doubt. It won't happen to me. It always happens to everyone else. It won't happen to me. So that's not them focusing on the past or anything. It's you're not believing. If you're not believing, then it's not going to show itself to you. Or you're not going to see it. Because you're too busy looking at everyone else and what they're receiving that you're not. So you sometimes can't see what's in front of you. So, and again, that is one of the energies where I'd always say, don't compare yourself to others. Only compare yourself to your past self. So look back then to see the abundance start growing. Don't comparing it to what others are getting. Compare it to what's happened before, to what's happening now, and know, oh look, it has actually changed. There's this that's changed. And be positive, and then more and more will come, and you'll notice it more. But I will talk about what things abundance can be or that can happen to you as well shortly. But words and thoughts. I would have said they do go hand in hand. But in order to attract the positive towards yourself, whatever it is, needs to be positive. Someone could say, how are you? How many of us would go, well, it's okay, blah, 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 blah. And then you list a couple of the things that are problems around in your life. So now you're leading your life forward with the things that are not good that you're focusing on. So that's saying your focus initially when that question's asked is on the things that haven't been working. Even if that pops into your mind, change your answer. I'm wonderful. And then focus on, yeah, my children are wonderful. I've got lovely children. Or anything that you know is good in your life or that's beautiful about yourself. Okay? And align your inner thoughts like that. Okay, you're going to ask me how. So let me move on. So there's some things that can affect it. I'll probably come up with a few more as well in a moment. But the past, close the door on that, focus, live in the present. I wouldn't have said even focus on the future. You just believe that future is going to be more positive. The best way is to believe the future is going to be more positive. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus too much on the future. Like I said, just know that it's going to change. It's going to be positive. Have faith. And live in the present moment. That's going with the flow. Let go of the doubt. No, it's coming to you. You're just not in control of when. And just keep an eye on your thoughts and your words. So, realign. Someone asks how you are. I'm wonderful. And inside, even if you're not feeling it, try and say, no, I'm wonderful. And talking about the thoughts, one of the biggest things, turning abundance round to work in your favour. We hit the next, bring in some of the bits. Go on to jump to self-worth, which is the third one down. So, self-worth. You might look in the mirror, or when you're looking at yourself from within, or however you're looking at yourself, you need to be pleased with yourself. If you're not proud of yourself, no one else is going to be, because that's energy that's feeding out. If you don't care about yourself, someone else isn't necessarily going to care about yourself. You've got to be loving to yourself. You've got to give yourself self-worth. And that's one of the easiest things to change, but also one of the hardest. Because one of the easiest ways to change that believing in yourself is focusing on the things you know that you're good at. Not on the things that you'd like to change, that you think, oh, I could do better at this, oh, I wish I'd done that. Because that's focusing on the negative. Focus on the things that you know you're good at, but when you look at yourself, even if it's in the mirror, get in that morning and night, look in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself for those things that you know you're excellent at, being a good mum, being whatever it is. And habits are formed after 21 days. So you've only got to do that 21 days, and you've done it 42 times then. So even if you don't quite believe it, it's a habit for then looking in that mirror and saying, I love you for this, and I love you for that. And it will change the way you speak, the way you think of yourself. It doesn't mean that you're not going to still want some changes around you, but then they can be wishes. They can be the abundance still to come, rather than the negative that's not going to come. Focus on the things that you've got around you that are good to start with. I've jumped ahead a bit there. So turning abundance around to work in your favour. It's not luck. First thing, you've got to decide you want to. Decide you want that abundance to work in your favour. You want the law of attraction to work. And with that self-worth I was just saying, then you've got to uplift, you've got to raise the vibration. Raise the vibration by speaking up positive, keeping an eye on those words, like I said. So, even if you're thinking, oh, Joe messed me around yesterday, when someone's asked how you are, and Derek's messed me around today, that might be in your mind, but then it's not going to be in your mind and in your thoughts for long if you don't speak that when someone asks the question. Oh, I'm wonderful. Yeah. I'm managing to push away all the stress. I'm focusing on where I wanted to go. I'm attracting luck my way. Might not come yet, but it's going to. A bit like if you think of Only Fools and Horses. Hey, tell boy. One day, this time next year, I'll be a millionaire. Every time he spoke it, he believed it. And ultimately, somehow it did in the programme come, but it's almost like that principle. Although I wouldn't wish for the money, but just answer differently. Yeah, I'm wonderful, thank you. How are you? Hasn't the weather been wonderful? All right, it's been getting a bit cool, says the other person, a bit damp. But yeah, you've got the seasons. Let's go with the flow. So now I can look forward to next summer. Now this summer's over, I know that I want to do blah blah blah. Everything's this time next year. It's going to be wonderful. I'm going to bring everything that I want round for next summer. So it's just how you decide to answer questions. First of all, to try and change the energy around you, the belief, the upliftedness, the raising the vibration. But when I said self-worth and I've got it with belief, I was running out of a line. So put it on the slide. So belief is belief that abundance is going to come your way. And this is listed by no means exhaustive. It's living in the present moment. So I've already covered letting go of the past. So as I say letting go of the past, let me go to the very bottom point there, forgiveness. Forgiveness, everyone seems to think, or most people think, is all about the other person. I'm not forgiving them, they don't deserve the forgiveness. So, they don't deserve your forgiveness. You've not let go, they've still got the power over you. They've got that. They've got you focusing on them, or you've got you focusing on them still in the past. So if you want to be abundant, you've got to forgive. Because if you can't forgive, that's where your focus is still lying. That's fighting against the current of moving forward. It is exactly, Denise. The forgiveness is for yourself. letting yourself off the hook. And like Anna said earlier, being grateful still for those things that maybe that relationship did bring you, that job did bring you. It might have turned sour in the end, but at one point it was goodness there because you've got children out of it. You've got a period of time. And if it's easier to remember, you share your life journey. We're not all the same. So if you start off for those in the UK, down in London, you might have part of your journey on the M1. You might switch across partly to the M25 and come back via Newbury on the A34 towards Oxford and back onto the M1 and across. You use loads of different road networks. But it doesn't mean that everyone else is going to do that. So you might share a part of your life with someone, and then you've got your unique path. So you can go across through the fields. You can go change your path. They're not necessarily going to be with you, but there will have been a reason that they were with you. And just remember it like that. And if someone leaves your life, you're sure it's how we're going to get some new people into your life. As long as you go with the flow, because doors will open. The opportunity will be there. Okay? So forgiveness, it's not condoning what things were done. It's about letting go and reclaiming your power. They don't even need to hear it. You've just got to decide you're forgiving them. Because if there's someone you hate from your past, hate's powerful, that means they've still got the power over you, like I said. And if you walk into the supermarket and you bump into them, some of you will be like it now. If you imagine it happening with that person, you're going to get agitated, you're going to get angry, you're going to get... So they're still ruining your day. They've done nothing other than you bumped into them, and they're still ruining your day. So that's your sight of them has ruined your day. Surely it'd be much better to think, walk to that supermarket once you've forgiven them, you see them, you don't need to talk to them, you think, by God, I'm glad I'm out of that one. Send love their way, thinking, I'm glad I'm out of that one, I'm glad they're going their way. And if they look at you, or bump into you in the aisle, you say, you're all right. Have a smile on your face. Think, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Okay? And those that are one of the biggest things as well, when people come out of relationships, especially the children involved, can be negative, quite often, from between the two. You only need one of you to change. Because if you offer, it takes two people to argue. So if someone's coming at you with negativity, they're not going to keep it up long. If you're offering them love and warmth, even if they're doing it, you might need to let a few things go over your head. But if you keep sending them love back, not responding to it, it's not going to take long. They'll stop throwing that negative at you because they don't know what to do. It's not bouncing back. Well, it is bouncing back, but only their own words are bouncing back. You're not letting it bother you, and they'll change. Even if you've got to use the words, look, at some point in the past, we loved each other. Because if you think deep in your heart, you probably still do, you probably still care. It's the love that's changed. So just the forgiveness and reclaim your power. That then lets you go with the flow. The flow of life moving forward, not affecting you if you bump into that, your past. The past, that's what the term is, past catching up with you. If you deal with it now, in the present, the past can't catch up with you because it's already dealt with. So that's cleared your energy so you're back in a neutral stance to enable abundance to come your way. So I'd say living in the present is actually going with the flow. They're sort of linked. But how? How am I going to do it when I've got those thoughts? They keep popping up. Again, habit can make things change. Whenever you find yourself going into a negative thought, gratitude. Any of you that are in a funny mood at the minute, think of anything to be grateful for. Anything at all. Even if you have to think of, at least I've got water and I can drink, at least I can sleep. The moment you're thinking of that negativity is uplifting. You can probably even feel the emotions or anything else leaving. The art, while you're in the art of gratefulness and the art of gratitude, it's impossible to be negative. Because you're saying thank you for something. Even if it's the air you breathe. Family. Sometimes family can be the problem as well. But be grateful of anything that you're actually truly grateful for. And there's always, if you can look at a high enough stance, be that eagle, fly a bit higher and look back down at yourself, you'll see there's quite a bit to be grateful for, or to have gratitude for. And that's then how you can start monitoring abundance and what's coming your way. I know this topic, I could go into it a lot more detail, but I'm just trying to scratch the surface, so to speak, to try and aid a few others moving forward. So you can use tools to aid abundance. And when I started learning more about abundance and accepting things, I generally do now let go of things. I'd had things when I was developing that are still probably back from school. Whereas I thought if I bumped into that particular person, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. It's like, they've still got a power over me. Why do I want to feel like that? I want to feel grateful I've had nothing to do with them for 20 years. Have I bumped into them? I'd be like laughing at them. I'd probably be curious as to what they're doing, because I can guarantee they won't have changed. And I can smile that I have. So, when I started working with abundance with Partner Marine, let me talk about something that positively happened, which was a sign. So we'd started working with abundance. We'd used intention. So intention definitely is a tool for abundance. Believed it had come. I don't know if you want to call it an altar, or I'm going to go in talking about crystal grids anyway. But we put in place that basically a practice. We wanted abundance, and we had attunements. I'll explain what attunements and things are. We've done attunements, but I'll explain those again going forward. So anyway, we've just done everything. We changed our views, and we were wanting abundance to come our way. We started developing. I was starting to work with spirit. I was working with spirit and doing this now, the mediumship, etc. So it's really shifted our energies. But then we were focusing on abundance. Didn't know in what form we wanted it, but we knew abundance. We wanted it. We could already be grateful that we'd already got some around us. I was now doing something and helping people, which I always wanted to do. And I'd got work that I love doing. I have to have faith that needs will be met. It's not necessarily the most, it's not going to make me a millionaire, but it's definitely going to make me a millionaire with love and the way it touches my heart. So I always like helping people that way, and in that way I'm rich with being able to do that and see the positivity when it affects others and turns them around. It's beautiful. So that's abundance to me in its first instance, and being aware of that. It's not actually brought me any monetary value or anything in, but it's enriched my heart. So we've noticed things like this, and as we started noticing it, we had one I'd call like a crazy week. It was only fun. Reordered sleeping bags, but double sleeping bags. One. When it arrived, we've got this enormous box. I mean, babe, how many have you ordered? They picked the box of them off the shelf and delivered us the box of sleeping bags. Okay? There was only 2 in it, but they were double ones and they were expensive. It was like over 100 quid's worth of sleeping bag delivered free of charge, because they're taking the box rather than giving us just one off the shelf. We order mobile phone charging leads. 3 of them had arrived, not 1. Okay, in there we'd order pencils, and 2 packs had arrived. Okay, and it still goes on now. Order doesn't show up, so it's like no, the order hasn't arrived. So they go and send another one out, and then both of them arrive on the same day. Now that's where it could cause a problem. I will mention of you ending the abundance. So now these 2 items arrive. Yep. And you go and send one back. Someone would say, well, that's not honest. Well, try not to look at it that way and focus on it in being abundant instead. Because if you return it, you're ending that flow of abundance. You're saying, I don't want the abundance anymore. So don't end your abundance. Yes, if someone drops their wallet, they're walking in front of you, then you tap them on the shoulder because you know where it's come from. Look, you've dropped your wallet, and give it back to them. I can guarantee if you do that, something good will come from another hand that you haven't just fed. So giving them that wallet back, you could say that you're the hand that fed them. Someone else will come and feed you. It'll come around in circles. But if something arrives and it's got to your doorstep and it's been delivered, it's yours, don't pretend that's ending the abundance. It's saying I don't want it anymore. But I know we've been talking this week a bit with supporters anyway with regard to abundance. It's like, Roger, something similar had happened with you, hadn't it? You'd had a good week with abundance after we'd been focusing on it. And is it actually to do with that? I'm going to mention anyway, with regard to something that we've been talking about that I feel has brought you the abundance later.
Yeah.
What have you kind of received abundance-wise this week? They're not they're little things, but you can notice them. You know it's going to enrich your life.
I ordered, not this week, but a couple of weeks ago, I ordered something for Suzanne, and I thought, oh, that'd be a nice treat. I'll put it to one side for Christmas. The parcel arrived, and I thought, that's a big parcel. They've actually sent me 4 times. This thing 4 times, and it's like, all right, thank you. That has now allowed me to think, right, well, they'll get that, somebody else will get that, whatnot. So I
got 4 times what you'd ordered.
Yeah. I went out to buy some bedding on Sunday. When we're just walking around, and we both said, oh, we like this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I says, go on, just put it in, we'll get it. Thought nothing more about it. Got to the tills, tilling this stuff through. Wasn't paying attention as to how much it cost. Just paid for it. And woman says, alarm will go off when you walk out, but don't worry about it because I'll wave you through. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sure as eggs is eggs. We get to the thing, beep, 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 beep. So we stand there and we wait until we're acknowledged. Great, that's fine. Come on, we'll go get a coffee and then we'll go and sit at the park for a bit. So did that, went to the park, bought an ice cream. And I just gave her ice cream and we just sat there, just watching the birds and the squirrels and things. And I just looked at my phone and I thought, wow, look at that. You know, I wasn't expecting anything. There was no expectation there. I just thought, well, I'm just going with the flow.
So what were you wowing at on your phone?
Pardon?
What were you wowing at your phone?
I got the receipt from the place on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the receipt and I'm thinking, where's that gone?
So they haven't charged you for something?
No, that's it. So
yeah.
And I just went to Susanna, says, wow, you won't guess. And she says, what's up? And I just showed her and she says, crikey, that's good.
It's really, really good. And there is a reason I've just picked on Roger to ask that question to, because I'm talking tools to aid abundance. So if you stay there with me for a second, Roger. So tools to aid abundance. If I jump to the bottom now, I've got spirit or universal connection. Roger has been developing, he's been developing for a long time. I've been fortunate to be able to help him on his path recently, and he's really jumped into his path. So he's doing work with spirit, helping others. When we do that, and I'm doing it as well, sometimes we don't get paid for or to get an energy exchange. Spirit will sort that energy exchange out on our behalf. So things like that will happen. That's where some of the abundance can come. So one of the tools is do something good for someone else, and it will come round. So when I say spirit or universal connection, you might be thinking, oh, that's not going to happen for me, then I'm not a medium. It's not about that. It's following your heart. Okay, doing something good from your heart. So I do give, and one of the other tools that you can have is an attunement, which is like a Midas star. And I don't charge for the Midas star. If I attune someone to abundance with that, I say, one thing you've got to agree. You're the one, and it's all in your hands for starting this abundance. You need to go out, buy a homeless person a meal, or help someone that's in the queue in front of you, pay for their shopping if they've not got the money or something like that. Some people say, but yeah, but I already give like food to the homeless in the food business. Like, no, but that's what you're already doing. So do something extra. So if you can, someone that's like struggling, don't just give them the money if you can. Buy them a meal and give them the meal. And it will start the process of abundance off. And it does, because you soon realise then you've given that away, and it might be someone in the shop, oh, I'll pay you back. No, pass it on. Tell them to pass it on. It could be a friend who've lent 5, 10 or 2. Oh, I'll give you that back next week. No, don't do us a favour. When someone else is in trouble, pass it on. Because it'll come back to you anyway from a different source. So some of the times it can be, I'm in the shop, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to get something coming free. They'll tell me I'll get a whisper or just an urge. It works often. They'll say, scratch card. And I just look and then something will drop, tell me the number. Or I'll get a colour in my mind and I'll look which one's got that colour. Okay, one of those, please. So I do the scratch it, or they'll tell me 3. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, and it's not often, it can be like the third one's the one that's going to wins. But it's normally in keeping with the amount of time I've spent doing something. So I might have spent, to get the third one, sometimes it's like, that's going to cost me 15 quid, Spirit, for 3 £5 ones. So I do it. I've got to have trust, I've got to believe. So believe, get the 3. Nothing. So now I'm 10 quid down, cheers, Spirit. And the next one, with 25 quid. It's like, our 15 quid actually ties up with that 20 minutes I just spent with that person who was over and beyond. And things like that. And that's what they do. But it's like, to get the 15 quid there, it's like to get that 15 quid back, they maybe lose 15 quid first type of thing to get that 15 quid. So they never make it easy. It's like they can make you huff and puff and sweat a bit, but having that faith and the belief, it'll come round. So if I didn't have the faith and the belief, I'd have been 5 down, definitely, because I've only bought one of the cards. If I'd have ignored it and then only got 2, I'd have still been down. But I listened and got the 3, and it worked. And that's having the faith, and that's putting the faith into the universe, and the belief in the universe, if you want to call it universe or the spirit world, whatever you want to call it. So if you get a calling like that and you've done something, it'll come around. That's the unfed hand that's coming to pay you or feed you. So things come around in a circle. So the last 2 points on that, tools to aid abundance. Generosity. Like I said, picking someone out. I remember quite vividly at one point, I think it was at KFC, and he was definitely a homeless person walk up. He walked in there, and within seconds he'd walk back out. We'd seen, he then started going through the bins. I saw him get like this half bit of, I said, this isn't right, half eaten food where someone had left a bit. I walked up to him and I took the box of that he was about to take away and threw it in the bin. Before he could shout, I said, no, give me in with me. He said, I've just tried, I've got enough to get 3 hot wings. They won't serve me. I didn't quite have the money or something, he was like a bit short. I said, no, they will, if we went in. I gave him the money himself and I stood with him, and he said, no, I've already told you to leave. I said, no, he's coming from me and he's the same as me. I made him stand there. He was like, well, can I have blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, make it a large, please. And he said, no, and then I threw something else in that was for the pudding. And he just thought it was his lucky day. And I said, he is eating in the store, he's a paying customer. And when they gave the change, I said, no, you can give the change to him. I spoke to him then while he was waiting for this food. I think he actually enjoyed me speaking to him more for the 3 or 4 minutes. There was more value to him than the food and everything. And he just couldn't believe his luck. So I wish I could pay you back. I said, when you get to that point that you can pay me back, pass it on to someone else. If you can believe in that mindset, you'll turn it around. And to tell you the truth, I've not actually seen him on the street. And it was someone that I'd seen on the street quite often. I haven't seen him on the street since. I've seen him again a couple of times afterwards, and he always said hello to me. But I would say he was turning himself around. He said, like, do you know what I'm going to do with that change? He was telling me, I can get a bed tonight, I can have a wash. If I can get 3 nights out of this, and I obviously don't charge a lot for that, that's someone else charitable. But that 3 nights meant that then he could attend a job interview. I didn't know that, so that was my guide telling me that was the right person to do that for. And well, I think a couple of days later, something happened. It was quite valuable. It was 4 times the value I'd given him anyway. So say it'd come to what I'd left him was 30 quid. Something, it was like 90, 120 quid, something like that had come back to me. I think that might have been a scratch card. It was like for the good deed and the chat and everything. It was just, I got told, boom, it came through. I've got a feeling it involved B&Q as well. We might have gone B&Q for something they didn't charge us for, something that they should have done. But literally in the space of half an hour, there's 4 times worth more. I do recall that point that I gave him that and bought the meal. I didn't have a great deal myself. It was towards the end of the month. I hadn't got any readings coming in. Do you know what else happened? I've got 2 days left of that week. I've got an afternoon left there. I think I got that afternoon, something if I recall, 12 readings booked in. Which was in top of what they'd done there. So doing that is having the faith. I didn't even think about it. It was just like he needed that at that point. He needed it more than I did. So that can turn the abundance around for you, okay? A lucky coin or a note, a lucky £5 note or something, could be a tool for abundance. So if you've already got something, remember, like attracts like. This is the process behind this one. So I know they say don't focus on money, but if we're not focusing on the amount that we want, and you've got a lucky coin, so you've always got this £1 coin or a £2 coin, you're not going to get rid of it. You know what it is, and you're never going to spend it out of your wallet. Even if it was the last £2 in there, you're going to keep it in there because you know it's going to attract more. Like attracts like, or a £5 note that you've hidden at the back of your wallet or purse and you're not looking at it. Okay. If you're focusing on it for that to bring you more, it will bring you more. So if I was to say to you all today, for a minute, focus in your mind that you're going to find between 2 and 5 quid, something you choose. Don't put a time scale on it. I know that I'm going to have up to a £5 come to me. Up to a £5 is going to come to me. It's going to come to me. I know it is. And envisage it. Envisage picking it up. And envisage it in your hand, whether it's in coins or notes. You can do it now. Okay? I know there's a £5 coming to me. I know there is. I know it's not going to take too long, but it's coming to me. It is coming to me. It's coming to me. I know it's coming to me. And just don't think about it all the time, but just keep remembering that. It's coming to me. It's coming to me. If you can all do that, and I just said, by this time next week, you will have got an extra £5, not that you weren't expecting coming. Whether you find it in a pair of jeans, whether you find it on the floor, whether you get a £5's worth of shopping extra free, but you focus on it and it'll come. And then that's one of the biggest things for you to start this process of abundance. So once you notice it, then it will keep coming. But you've just got to envisage it. Smile. I know it's already with me. Believe it's already here. And then you'll think, but Gav, why have you just said that? Because on your list in front of me, you've got non-focus, allowance. The difference is you're knowing that it's coming to you. You don't need to keep, you just got to have that memory now. You've already known it's coming. You're not focusing on every minute. Right. So sometimes the biggest thing with love as well, it can be that someone's focused on their love life too much. So by non-focus, I mean, be aware it's coming to you. Know it's coming to you. Believe it's coming to you. The when does not matter. Just if you can keep going with the flow, then you don't need to focus because you're releasing those doors, so to speak, or the things that could be holding you back. Because if you're focusing on it too much, you might as well, the negativity might be coming from that you're focusing on the past. So if you're trying to release the past as well, don't focus, just know, go with the flow and know that that good's coming to you. And that means really that's where the allowance comes. So allow it to come. Non-focus allowance, keep going with the flow. Non-acceptance awareness. So be aware of you not accepting something. I've already said, if 2 items get given to you, hang on, whoa, 1 sec, listen, then you're going to stop it. So be aware of non-acceptance of abundance. That stops the flow. So if you can think of a little stream for a minute, and that's your abundance stream coming to you. You don't want to go and put a big rock in it, so it keeps flowing to you. Whoa, I've got one too many of this. You've now put a big rock in the way. So it's got to build up behind the rock again now in order to flow to you. So just be aware of not accepting abundance. So I've covered the lucky coin and the note in the wallet. What about a money tree? You might think, what is a money tree? A money tree is a plant. As long as you keep the plant alive and it keeps growing, abundance should keep going. There's not many plants I've ever been able to keep. But we've got a money tree at the minute. I can show you it in a second. Let me turn this off for a second. I'll show you it. Let me grab it. But when we first got the money tree, it was, let me turn that off. Stop sharing for a second. So when we first got the money tree, it was probably about half the size of this. Probably less than that. Probably a quarter of the size of this. Okay? But this isn't the money tree. This is cuttings of the money tree. And these cuttings 3 months ago, 2 months ago, were just a leaf and just a little stick bit that had fallen off. This is the money tree. Let me show you it. Bloody hell. Oh, the abundance tree on. So that's what's grown in, keeping that alive. For some reason it does work. It's looking after it. So when it gets a bit big, I'll take some of the heavy branches off and just repot them. So I'm not killing it, I'm not pruning it to nothing. It goes into a pot and then there's another pot. So these pots keep multiplying. Well, this keeps multiplying. If anything did happen to it, at least there's another one there. We won't say I'll put it down, it's heavy. So if you're looking after something, it'll look after you. So yes, it might need pruning from time to time, but don't just throw away those bits that you pruned off. Let it get to the point where you can take something and make something. You can even give that to someone else then. So you could give part of that to someone else and just keep it alive. And that can really, really help you. But it doesn't necessarily, that's what's known as a money tree, but it could be whatever tree you wanted. But I've tried bonsais and things like that and I was useless. Right, let me hit share again there for a second. That is heavy as well, I'm out of breath now. So we've covered the money tree now, we've covered the lucky coin and note, we've covered non-acceptance, the non-focus and just allowance, that's just going with the flow. Trust, you must trust it's coming to you. Because we've already said the doubt, oh, I don't want this to happen again, this happened in my past. The opposite is you've got to trust. Generosity we've covered, and the spirit universal connection we've covered. It's not that it's there, it's just knowing that they'll support you and that it's going to come around. I've obviously already covered that there. Doesn't mean being necessarily mean, being nice to another, supporting another, living in harmony with someone like a stranger. See, if you can find someone that's even that act of just giving them that fight, it's more about not giving them the food. It's that you've actually interacted with them, you've spoken with them. To them, it'll probably be more important that you've spoken to them about it, you've stuck up for them. So I would say that when you get them that food, you take them into the shop with them. The love that you'll get from it, you're then admitting, because it's made you feel good, that love radiating from around you. That's what I mean by the spirit universal connection. You're a magnet then for things to come your way. Because how many times have you walked down the street and you've been happy and you've had a big smile on your face? If you think about it now, I bet then when you've walked by the others, other people have smiled at you and nodded their head. Other times you're just like plodding along and you're down in the dumps, no one says a word to you. Because that's one of the big things when COVID hit and you've got the masks on and everything, I hated it. Because you I could read the energy still of others, but a lot of people, it really, really affected them because they couldn't see the people smiling back. I won't go into that topic particularly too much. Rare, but that really did hide. You can probably think now that's sort of more over. It is actually nice to have strangers smiling back or interacting with the masks. You couldn't get it because you couldn't judge, you couldn't see what other people were feeling. Andrew, I never realised that there was actually a money tree. I was always told growing up, do you think we got money tree out in the back garden when I wanted everything? Well, now you know there is. And if you know someone with one, ask for a cutting from it. If you do get a cutting, moist soil or compost really than the soil, and leave the cutting in water for 24 hours. Okay. You can get some stuff that actually pots it as well, like enables it to get some roots going, which is basically concentrate or like manure do it or something like that. But cut it, leave it in water for 24 hours and then put it into the pot and just keep it slightly watered and it'll go. The roots will just start coming out from it. So moving on from the tools to aid abundance, what else can aid it? Crystals to aid abundance. Don't worry, that picture on the right, that's a crystal grid. I will talk about that in a minute. Where's my glasses? Because I'm never going to read. I've got to read, cover this because I've made some notes. Right. So, first on the list, citrine. Citrine. It's known as the merchant stone. It brings good luck and prosperity. It helps bring a more positive outlook, which in turn aids attraction and manifestation of abundance. So citrine is good for abundance. Green aventurine is known as the stone of opportunity. And as I've already said, abundance is opportunities coming your way. So if you want to increase the opportunities coming your way, green aventurine has got the vibration that can merge with yours or change yours slightly in a positive way to bring opportunity. It's considered very lucky. It's especially good in attracting and manifesting prosperity and wealth. Again, most people hear prosperity and wealth and they're thinking money, money, money. Prosperity and wealth, I'd say more important than that, it's love. You can be abundant in love. You can't take prosperity and wealth of financial or material items with you. Not when you're not here. But you can definitely take that love vibration. That's where the happiness is. I can say I used to be a financial advisor, so I've stopped that and now stepped into what I'm doing. I'm much happier. That was where it kind of meant I always wanted to help people. People from the ones that actually didn't have as much money, they were the ones that were happiest. The ones that were working all the time, there was all the stress, they didn't get time to see anything, they were so focused on the work. So balance is wrong here. So I wasn't popular with family when I did that, but I'm so happy I did. And I can help people in a much greater way. I definitely found my soul's calling. So I guess I took an opportunity there, but I didn't have the green aventurine around me at the time. I did afterwards. But pyrite helps improve financial hardship. So this would be financial here. But it's not for a want, it will be for a need. It removes any fears or doubts which are blocking you from achieving success. It provides confidence and energy needed in order to complete tasks, to complete projects, and achieve your goals. So it helps improve financial hardship. I didn't say it was going to bring you money though. I said to improve financial hardship. So I'd encourage you to get your energy right to complete that task. And that task or that thing, it could maybe get you a pay rise by giving you a promotion. So it's how you look at things, remember, as well. Not, well, it didn't work, that didn't bring me a pay rise. No. It gave you the support, so you should have been putting some focus into developing, learning something new so that you could move forward and get that promotion or switch jobs, taking an opportunity. So it could be aiding you with that. So the belief, having that confidence, the energy needed in order to make that change, could be making that, achieving that goal of, for someone, if you're talking relationship wise, they know that what they want isn't around them. All they can see is this shallow water. It's not good. Nothing's there that they want. Nothing ever comes near them. Well, and perhaps it's you that needs to change something, take that opportunity, move forward a little to achieve it. Get into that deeper water. Yeah, you don't know what's there, but that's the point. Because you can't find what you're looking for. Go and look somewhere that you don't know what is there. Because you're not going to find it in that water that's already shallow and you can see everything. So move forward. And then Tiger's Eye. Now, Tiger's Eye is one that I still use time to time. It seems to go on my wrist as a bracelet, then it snaps when I don't need that energy anymore, and then it goes back on. At times I'm told to put it back on. Okay. So Tiger's Eye helps you look at a situation from a different perspective and explore new ideas or solutions. It brings you the willpower and motivation needed in order to take action towards achieving success. It will help you remain calm even in difficult times, and it aids your ability to be more confident and successful. Now, I always call it an abundance. Tiger's Eye, I reach for abundance, and it brings it to me in a way because I'd start looking at a situation different. I might do something slightly different, and then brings what I need in order to pay the bills or something like that. So that's what I mean when I'd call on Tiger's Eye. It's like, okay, I need to look at something from a different perspective. So I do call it an abundance, but if something drops in straight away when I'm wearing it, then and it's like then I won't take it off, or it'll stay on for a while before it snaps again. It'll attract what I need. By snapping, if something snaps and it's pretty obvious that it shouldn't have done, it's time to, you don't need that energy back by you. So sometimes if you lose a crystal, it may be meant to have gone. And if you went and bought a new one and then it vanishes again, and it's sure sign, you don't need that around you. Okay. Clear quartz. It's known as the master healer. And it's also an amplifier. It amplifies thoughts and the energy of all other crystals. It's a powerful stone for manifestation. It helps to quickly and clearly manifest intentions pertaining to wealth, prosperity, and abundance. And I said it's programmable as well. Well, it definitely is with energies, but it can be programmable with your thoughts. If you're desiring something, you're wanting this to, as long as you can then believe it, it can be that you can talk into it effectively with your mind and your hands and your energy. Okay, I know this is what I want to come around for me. I know I'm going to find that soulmate. I'm going to find that twin flame. I know I'm going to get out of this. I know the abundance I need. My needs, they're going to be met. Wherever you want to talk into it, and if you start getting a bit of a doubt, you pick it back up, you carry it around with you in your pocket, and you pull it out when you get a bit of doubt. You think, no, I know this is attuned to it, and I know it's going to come. Because now you can start thinking positively again, and it can amplify it. So because it's programmable, that makes it a second benefit to have that if you've already given your views and your intentions into it. And it's very easy to pull it back out and magnify it some more. So I do love clear quartz. So there's just 5 easy, not too expensive crystals. You can grab as tumble stones or anything like that can really benefit you. If you're wanting a tool, because that's to do with vibrations. Now, gridding. So you saw the grid previously. Well, if I can flip back to the old one, you can see there's the made one, and then there's the unmade one. So this grid, it's a flower of life, and it's for abundance. You don't need to necessarily have a grid. There's many different types of grids, and I'm not going to go into grids. That could be a separate topic if everyone was interested. But gridding the crystals and grids can bring you abundance. You build it with the intention of abundance. You look after it. You focus the energy towards it. You have a note maybe under the central piece, like a £5 note or a £20 note. So you make the intention, write a note and keep it upside down under the central crystal. I'm not going to go into detail how you build it or anything at the moment, but you can do that. If it's something that people wanted to know about, that's a topic on its own. Then you've got the Midas Star, which I mentioned about briefly. That's when people want to be attuned to the Midas Star. That's for abundance. I normally do that with half of people during Reiki. When I'm teaching Reiki, once I've got to the level 2, say, look, do you want to be attuned to abundance? And everybody, yes, please. So, well, look, you don't have to pay me for it. All I want you to do in return is go and give something to a stranger. That'll start the abundance flowing for you. And attunement works. There's another symbol called Yod. And that's where, Roger, I believe, your abundance has stemmed from this time. Okay? We discovered it. It's an ancient symbol from the past. It's very powerful. But there's many different symbols. There's many different grids. So if you can focus on abundance and it's not money, you just want wealth and happiness for your family, which is what abundance generally is, and you can start getting it. It's a decision. It's nothing more than a decision. Decision, yes, it maybe involves changing of thoughts, changing ways of doing things, but everyone's strong enough to change that. Everyone. You just need to decide. Okay? And hopefully those few tips will aid you to do that.